Alright, so we built the bike, ready to go, and gonna head to the Lower East Side from LaGuardia Airport. So it's a little sketchy coming out of the airport, but it's worth it. It's taking me about an hour. It's about 11 miles. I'm hoping that you can hear me a little bit better because I have my ears plugged into the ear. Although the expense is that I am no longer able to hear directions. So um, no longer able to hear directions, which means that I'm kind of going to be winging it, just doing a little bit of dead reckoning to get home. And It's always a low confidence moment when you first start off because I'm not really sure if I strapped my bag in very well. And that's typically the most point of most irritation is when you forget to do a strap or whatever and you have to stop and restart it. But this is LaGuardia. It's a beautiful new airport because it was a real dump before. But there's no money in making these airports bike accessible. So I'm gonna swim with the fish, with the big fish, and see what happens. But I gotta get back into like New York City mode. All right, all right. Oh, that's so refreshing. Nobody cares about me here. Like that's very reliable. The fact that nobody cares whether you live or die is far more reliable than people being nervous about your presence. Like just the apathy that you can depend on, or the indifference, or the ignorance. So that's what I'm going to be leaning on to get out of here in one piece. Because I'm going to assume that everybody else would rather see me dead to further their own agenda than to see me live and survive. Pretty sure it's towards a different terminal now. Which is this way. Hey, look at that. I don't know if I'm supposed to be going this way, but I'm doing it. Didn't say I can't go this way, so just gonna roll the dice, stay in my own lane over here. And look at that, I'm in a different terminal. But it goes now. That will help with hopefully the sound. But also I mounted this camera in a new position. I kind of like it a lot better. It makes it much easier to get my water bottle. Alright, so I'm still about. Thank you. Still going. Okay, kind of out. We shall see. I remember this bump. I think there might be some pedestrian stuff up here pretty soon. Yep, the bridge looks like I can get over. I've done this a couple times, but not so frequently that I have this trip memorized by heart. Like I'm gonna be probably making a few wrong turns through Queens and stuff before I actually remember where it is that I'm going to get to the Lower East Side. Oh, I forgot to unpack my glasses. I wonder if they're right on top. We'll see. Whoa! Hey, that worked out. Okay, here's the big city. So straight ahead of me is Queens and Greenpoint, and I gotta figure out how to get over there without getting killed by a cab. Oh, don't want to go that way. That's Terminal A. That's like a real commuter. That's a real baller commuter terminal. Not gonna mess around with that. Lots more activity there. I'm gonna go and keep the camera on for if and when I do get hit by a car. Not a good choice, buddy. All right, so this is where people park when they ride their bikes to the airport. That's good to know. Although, I cannot imagine leaving my bike at the airport on the outside, even if it's locked. Even if every component is locked, I wouldn't do it. This is where I'd go if I was looking to steal some bikes. Actually, maybe not. Okay, so now I'm in Queens. I'm not in the airport anymore. This is much more civilized, I'm sure. And, oh boy. All right, thanks for not getting me. That was cool. You can tell the cabs because their license plates always start with T. And they want you dead. I think this is going to be the burliest hill that we have. Maybe the Williamsburg Bridge is probably bigger than this, but generally speaking, not too big of a deal. New York City is very flat. New York City is very flat, and for the most part, straight. The grid system didn't really have. I read this book called Downtown by Pete Hamill 100 years ago, like when I first moved to New York. It explained why the grid system wasn't implemented until, I don't know, the 1820s or something like that. And before that, the city hadn't been developed yet. Oh, let's go this way. Okay, maybe an unforced error here. I found myself on the side of the highway. Almost. I'm blissfully ignorant of how dangerous just was. I was just thinking, why don't you just take a cab? Why don't you do more research on these rides? I'm kind of just thinking about like the spontaneity of riding indefinite length, or not knowing exactly how to get there is a great way to be present, to learn more about where you're at in your mind, of things that we think are urgent, but they're really not. They're really just everything's within your mind. It's all in a wait, and I'll get to it. So maybe I'm just in the headspace of having read David Foster Wallace's Water. All that I saw was a philosopher, marketer, slash brilliant guy. I'm just kind of thinking that, like, maybe I aim to get paid for what I know and not for what I do. And might be helpful to research knowledge that's not technical based. So in public restaurants, which is what I do, I should be more focused on how I can more meaningfully impact change for them without overwhelming them with a bunch of technology and tools and stuff. that creates another job for them. So, all right, so this looks like I'm heading towards the BQE. I don't think that dog ain't gonna hunt. That would be a mistake to go on that. Yep, that's the BQE right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and not do that because no, thank you. I ain't going out like that. But also, it's really nice to take long rides because it's really healthy for you. I don't love to go to the gym unless it's to like sweat. It's a great way to kind of stay reasonably in shape, in a shape that's otherwise impaired. That's where my head's at. Alright, so we're heading towards Long Island City versus Queens, versus like deep ass Queens. I'm on Northern Boulevard and 33rd Street, headed towards our train. After you, I insist. And it's getting a little busier, getting to feel a little bit more like home. I'm tempted to take that train right there, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to see it through. But if you think I'm stopping at this light, you're fucking high. Because I'm home now and I don't stop. I guess I stopped a little bit. But looks like I learned how to pack a bike onto this thing. It is not a burden at all. I'm actually kind of curious if you can hear me over the subway. These guys are here. Yeah. Alright, looks like we're getting into slightly more civilized riding. This is rush hour in New York City. Alright, I'll take these little roads. These are nice. This is pleasant. It smells like weed. Haven't smelled that in a couple days. And pretty soon we'll all be home. It'll be smelling like crack. Yeah, let's go take a look at the 53 Bridge. The 53 Bridge is pretty good, actually. I kind of like that. Queensboro Bridge, sorry. Class. It's actually a little early, you know, it's only like 1 o'clock, so not a lot of it. This is one of those times when you really miss your gear ratio. I wish I had a 12 speed right now, which means I just got to hump it out and just get to be a better bike rider, just to get a little stronger. But these like long soul crushing hills are kind of a pain in the ass. And I just have to suck it up and go through it. Even though I probably should have pumped up my back tire or stopped at one of the numerous car dealerships and gas stations to fill up my back tire. It's a little squishy back there because I'm carrying much more weight than this bike is probably designed to carry, which means that I'm at a much higher risk of flats and it's just a little harder to ride. But when it's flat, it's like no big deal. No big deal. So, people say I'm out of shape. How do you get into shape to be able to do these rides? Well, the answer is you just gotta fucking do them. And suck it up when it sucks. And, you know, this isn't even what sucking looks like. It could be like snowing. It could be raining. It could have a broken chain. It could have any number of mechanical issues. But no, it's just a hard bike ride up a hill. I can do that. I can do that, right? That's no big deal. You can see just a little bit of fetching and whining and complaining. And there I am right there at the top. So hello, East River. Maybe I'll check you out later or tomorrow with the kid. Get some, catch us a striper, or maybe even a fluke. Let's see what happens. I've been in the city for 2 minutes and already seen some very questionable behavior from cars. So I'm just going to turn on the camera just because, I don't know, I can kind of predict what they're going to do, but I don't know, I saw two things today that are abnormal for sure, even for New York City. Alright, I'm going to check out the bike shop because I have to see how much pressure I can put on this back tire before I am like really rolling the dice. Now granted, I went 60 something miles yesterday on a pretty soft tire. But let's see what I can do. Alright, so we're in the Lower East Side and it's about time for me to end this trip before I get home. I'm about 5 minutes away, about a mile from my house. And I learned a lot from talking to Greg, but I'm glad I ended up doing it right because it was fun. I got to see part of Michigan that I wouldn't have ordinarily been able to see, and yeah, it's just this and that's something I can walk, which is a lot slower. I'm not patient enough for that, but seeing it by bike is definitely the way to go. So I'm gonna call it a day, and I will see you on the next ride. Bye.